Welcome. Okay, so welcome to the World Challenge for 2021 race briefing. Usually we do this on site just before the race, but during these COVID times, I thought I'll try and do a James Elson impersonation. Anyone who's done a Centurion running ultra race, you'll know James, and he does a pretty good race briefing, but we'll see if we can match him. So what you can see is our website, Trail Running Sussex website, with various tabs along the top. Um, and I'm just going to go through some details which I didn't send in the final email. The final details email, I kept it very, very short, so I only had the absolutely essential information because I had a few comments about my 3 weeks to go email. So we'll talk about some stuff here, and we'll see you on Sunday if you manage to follow some guidance I'm going to tell you. Okay, so if we look at, I've got some notes here, so I'm just going to go through various things, and a lot of some of this is to do with our UK athletics permit. So the first one is COVID symptoms. If you've had any COVID symptoms or you've got to isolate or anything like that, I could read this out, but if you've been unwell, whatever, you're not meant to come. So don't come, not just not meant to, don't come, okay? And in the email um, you'll get on Thursday, there's a link to the NHS, the government NHS site on what you do if you're feeling unwell. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, okay, getting to the race start. So we have a large grass field directly opposite Chiddingly Primary School, and that's the car park. Okay, so we would like you to enter from Golden Cross. Okay, so if you're coming along the A22, um, there's a petrol station there, antique shop, and we'll have our big yellow sign saying World Challenge Trail Races. So if you could enter into the village of Muddles Green, so Chiddingly primary schools in Muddles Green, if you can enter from that way, that would be good. And then we've got car park attendants will guide you into the car park. We don't want you entering from the country lanes route because the first zero point 0.7 of a mile of the running route is on the roads. Okay, so that's really good because usually we can spread out, but we're starting in small groups of 30 this year. I'll talk about that next, but the idea is it's not good if traffic's coming towards, so please come in from the Golden Cross A22 entrance. Right, okay, so you come in. The first race to start is the Ultra, the 50-kilometer Ultra, and as you would have read in your email and previous emails, and had a read on the weight the if we go to this COVID tab, let's click on this COVID tab. Okay, it's a socially distanced race. Things aren't changing until, well, they probably won't now on the 21st of June, but we're not that down there yet. But here we go. Here, I'll just enlarge that for you. Uh, Wave starts, very important, please read. But what we've got is we start in groups, a maximum of 30 runners, and this is for both the ultra and for the half marathon. And you allocate yourself to a group. So this is for the usual World Challenge Ultra Trail route, which is 50.8 kilometers. That's the usual route. We've had to make some changes to the route this year due to some repaired steps at near Uckfield. That's on the ultra route, and we've had to make some changes due to COVID requirements and keeping socially distanced. And so that's 3 changes on the half marathon route. So it's slightly longer. But anyway, if you've done the race before, it's best to use your usual expected time. If you haven't done our race before, but you've done a road marathon, I've spent a bit of time working out what your equivalent time is from a road marathon to our 50 kilometre or 52 kilometre as it is this year. So if you think you can do between 4 hours 25 and 4:40 for a road marathon, you choose this slot here. and so your start time is 8:16 a.m. Now we've split it up so there shouldn't be more than 30 people choosing to start at each time, because we've looked at previous year's results and we've split it up that way. So what happens is you come park your car, you hang out in the playing field, where in the big grass playing field, plenty of open space, you don't need to wear a face covering. The moment you come into the school grounds, if you want to use the Portaloo toilets, located at the end of the little school car park, or the toilets in the sports hall, once you enter the school grounds, you need to put a face covering on. And there's hand sanitizer everywhere and stuff like that. Once you leave the school grounds, you can go back into the big field, lots of open space, and you can take your face covering off if you choose to. You can keep it on all the time, that's fine, but you must have it on in the school grounds. Now, what we've got what we've called a holding pen. So if we go down here, here we go, here's our map of there's our Portaloos, sports hall toilets. We've changed the race start, so we're actually starting in the car park this year. So those who've done it previously, we usually walk 200 meters up the road, but we're starting here, and it's a computer chip start. But here is the holding pen. So 6 minutes, okay, we're being precision here. 6 minutes before if you chose 8:16 as your starting time, that would be 6 minutes before that would be 8:10, and you report to the holding pen, and to enter that holding pen, you put your face covering on and you use hand sanitizer. Okay, I know you'll be using it a million times, but so be it. Then at 3 minutes, sorry, at 4 minutes to, I better make sure I don't get this wrong. Here we go. No, it is 3 minutes to. Okay, so 6 minutes you report at the start, approximately 6 minutes before your start wave, you report to a holding pen. Then 3 minutes before your start, so that if you're starting at 8:16, that would be you report at 8:10, and at 8:13, the 30 runners will be escorted from the holding pen to the starting pen. Okay, and then they will start at 8:16. Then, so what will happen? The following group will turn up, at 8:14 ready for their 8:20 start. So that's why it's all slick, all precision. If you turn up a few minutes early before your time, and you see that the starting group, the wave ahead of you, we've got all these 30 dots on the ground, and you see there's a gap there, just move into that wave. Okay, so we want to try and fill up all the waves. We've got plenty of time to do all the waves, but ideally we want only sort of 9, so that would be from 8 to 8:32. You would have seen there's a early wave start for these people from 7:30 to 8 hours expected finish time. I won't talk about that now. Read the instructions on here. There's a whole lot of guidance on how the early wave start works. And then the half marathon, they start at 9 o'clock. Road equivalent, less than 140, you'll be in the first wave, and every 4 minutes. So hopefully that's reasonably clear. Remember, we don't have to start exactly to the second at 9:04, 9:08, etc. But it just makes it easier to keep things organised. So here we go. And we have this computer mat here, so your time is recorded when you cross over, because you've got 30 dots on this car park here. So that's all pretty good. As you get running, it's going to be hot, 24 degrees and bright sunshine. So it's 6.9 miles to checkpoint 1 on the ultra, and checkpoint 1, the only checkpoint on the half marathon. So you need to make sure you can survive 6.9 miles in the heat. And so if you think, and I would strongly encourage you to carry water bottles, a hydration system. So then you know, after 5 miles, you're not gasping for a drink. And then for the half marathon, you've got another 6.9 miles to get back. Usually, we have an extra aid station, an extra drink station at around 10-mile mark to split up the second leg, but this year we're not, and that is specifically based on UK Athletics COVID-19 secure principles. Okay, they're called Principles of COVID Secure Racing, and they said that for half marathons you should only have a maximum of one, and I think it was for whatever, I can't remember what it is, but it's the half marathons which is going to be most congested, and so we're sticking with the UK Athletics guidelines, and so we're only having one. When we made the decision to stick with those guidelines, we didn't know it was going to be super hot, and we've already organised all our marshals, so we possibly could not follow their guidelines, but I'd rather we did what they suggest. So that is important. It's going to be hot. Get yourself some drink bottles, get yourself a hydration system, and then you don't have to carry all the water to get you around your whole 13 miles, because we've got water at the feed stations. Okay, and it's only water this year. So usually we have Coca-Cola, watermelon, talk bars, talk gels, you name it. But again, just to keep things simple, reduce risk of transmission of the virus, which is just saw on the news, it's going up. Um, we're avoiding any food. Okay, and that stops people hanging around deciding what to eat. So again, it reduces congestion. So that's important. What we've got, so we've got for the ultra 4 checkpoints, and for the half marathon 1 checkpoint. As you go through that checkpoint one for the half marathon and the ultra, you pass the timing mat, or it's actually a timing box, and it goes up into the cloud, and so your friends and family can see you. I think it refreshes once every minute. So after a minute, it will refresh and it will show your time as you pass through that checkpoint. We've got the 1 checkpoint for the ultra, for the half, and then for the ultra, we have got checkpoint 1, checkpoint 3, and checkpoint 4, which is the same as checkpoint 1. So you've got three time splits there. And then as you cross the finish line, obviously, you've got your timing mat as you cross the finish line, which there we go. I haven't drawn it on here. Now, just when you're going into the toilets before the race, this is all a one-way system we've got set up. It'll all be clearly labelled and sanitized, everything. But remember, you need to have your mask on inside the sports ground before the race, inside the school hall. When you finish, because people, when they finish, there won't be such a congestion of people, you do not need to wear a face covering after you've finished the race when you're in the sports, when you're in the school grounds. You're most welcome to, and probably I imagine some people will, but it's not a requirement. The only requirement afterwards is when you go into the sports hall, which is an indoor space, so everyone's used to wearing it indoors, their face coverings. That's where, if you want to get your coffee mug filled up with some coffee, freshly filtered coffee, or some tea, then you go into the sports hall. Your coffee mug will be filled up for you. You'll be handed some cake. You can get to choose what cake you'd like to eat with it. And then we have a one-way system in the store, background out. And then obviously you can't drink your coffee when you got your face covering on. But as you come out of the sports hall, you can take your face covering off and start having your cake and coffee. UK Athletics says that runners are required to disperse quickly. Originally, they had the wording disperse efficiently. They've changed that to disperse quickly away from the finish line. So what we would like you to do would be to leave the school grounds So then you're away from our race HQ, and then you can walk up the road, cheer on other runners finishing. Please do not gather immediately by the finish because that will make a large gathering. But wander along the road, or it's a massive playing field. Hang out, relax, enjoy your cake and coffee in the playing field. Usually we have a great atmosphere in this region here. We have a barbecue, sometimes live music, but you're required to disperse quickly because here's our finish line here, and so I interpret away from the finish line being away from race HQ, race headquarters, which is the school grounds. So the moment you get out of those school grounds, out that gate, uh, you yeah do what you want, but you're no longer my responsibility. So what other things have we got to say? I think that's probably the main stuff. Your race number has should have arrived today. I've had a few emails saying it's arrived, so that's really good to know. If it hasn't arrived today, it's bound to arrive tomorrow. Today, you don't even know what today is. I'm doing this on Wednesday night, but I'm going to send out an email tomorrow night with this link on it. So you'll be probably watching this Thursday night, or maybe Friday or Saturday, or not even bother watching it if you're like one of my university students. Okay, so we've got that sorted. Just to remind you, so the key things are: if you got COVID, not feeling well, don't come. Drive to the car park from the Golden Cross petrol station turnoff. Inside the school grounds, you need to wear a face covering. There's only water, no food at the checkpoints. We've got one less checkpoint for the half marathon and one less checkpoint for the ultra. So the 10-mile one isn't there this year. So you need to, and that's when you really struggle from the 6.9 mark to the 13.8. You think half marathon's only 13.1, but we give you a bonus. It's always 13.6 each year, a half mile bonus. This year, because we've had to make some changes where the path is very narrow, it's gone up from 13.6 to 13.8. So it's an extra, 0.2 of a mile. So you need to make sure that you do not die of dehydration in that 6.9 miles. So, like I say, carry your own water bottle, but you can get it filled up at halfway. I imagine the majority of you ultra runners out there will be having your own hydration systems and stuff like that. So it's more the half marathon I'm more worried about. When you finish, you got the coffee mug, handmade coffee mug. You got your quality homemade organic cakes, vegan cakes, gluten-free cakes, you name it. And then you can relax outside of the school grounds once you've picked up your coffee and cake. For the prize winners, that's the first three in the under 50s, and then the first in the over 50 to 60, and first in the 60 to 70. We've got some good quality prizes from Let's Run, the online store, Montaigne, and we've got the fantastic spot prize, which is eligible for everybody, and that's courtesy of the Langham Hotel. A lot of runners will know the two Neil Kirby's, and hopefully we'll have one of the hopefully we'll have both of the Neil Kirby's, Neil Kirby Senior and Neil Kirby Junior from the Langham Hotel racing this Sunday. But they've very generously provided two spot prizes, one spot prize for the half and one spot prize for the ultra. For everybody that finishes, they go into the draw to win. It's a dinner, bed and breakfast in the Langham Hotel for two people for one night. So we've got a prize for the ultra and a prize. So we won't be having a prize giving because you're not encouraged to stay around. So we'll make an announcement on who won the spot prize probably on our Facebook page. Not that I use Facebook much, but I'll put something on there for you to see if you've won, and we'll contact the winner. And then for the other prize winners, we'll give it to them on the day, when they just shortly after they cross the finish line. So that's more than enough. I've gone on forever. Sorry for taking so long. Hopefully that's been useful. Please read these instructions. We've got FAQ. Obviously that's not important, but lower down it's got some questions about what clothing you should wear. We've got the race information here. But the main one, we've got the route details and showing how, there we go, how we've got a diversion. This is one of the diversions, so usually we go there. And then probably the most important, this COVID one about the details and the wave starts. Right, we'll call it a day. We'll see you on Sunday morning, and take it easy in the last few days resting up. Beauty. See you later.